Welcome to another set of conversations with candidates that are going to be on the November 5th ballot. We have for you a series of interviews that we are conducting with a unique group of candidates. These are candidates that are going to be running for Plymouth County Commissioner. And we will show these in conjunction right up until November 5th. We know that early voting has already started. And so folks get an opportunity to hear from these candidates as they are seeking office, whether it's early voting or right up until 8 p.m. on November 5th, Tuesday, November 5th. Joining us for this particular conversation, it is Rhonda Nyman. Rhonda is one of the candidates who is running, seeking this office. She also is someone who is the vice chair of the Hanover Select Board. Rhonda, welcome to the conversation. And if you will, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Kevin. I'm glad to be here tonight. Thank you for the opportunity to allow me to speak to you this evening. I've been a Hanover resident for over 50 years. Hanover's been my home. It's a place where I've raised my family, where I've worked and lived. I'm proud to be a Plymouth County resident my entire life. I have a private and public sector background. I worked for a small family-owned business right here in Hanover, my family's business, for over 26 years. I was the chief financial officer there. And until I found my passion for public service. And then I ran for, when my late husband passed away, I was asked to run for his seat. And I served and ran 2 terms. And it was since that time that I really found that I really enjoyed being out of the accounting fields per se and working with people.
So tell us why you are deciding to run for county commissioner. What is the appeal to this particular position?
So Kevin, since that time, and then I ran for select board as well, another elected position, 5-way race, and I did very well in that race. So I'm currently the vice chair of that board and the past chair of the select board going into my next term. And then I also work at the Plymouth County Sheriff's Office. I do government affairs there. And so I've been working there. I'll be there almost 10 years in February. And I've been inspired by the county and working there. I work with police and fire. I've been in local senior centers. And just kind of inspired by the work that, I've seen done through the commissioner's office. I'm also a advisory board member to the county commissioners through my role as a select board member. So just kind of intrigued by it all and thought I could have a certain perspective that I think I could bring to the commission. And that's why I decided to run.
I think the one question that is always asked, and that is because, again, folks don't know a lot about county government. What is it that a county commissioner, or what does the county commission do?
So, and that was honestly, that was the number one question as I've been campaigning. I started campaigning back in February of last year. Been out across the county, the 26 towns in the city of Brockton, talking to folks. And that's the number one question is, what does a county commissioner do? And that's part of the reason I wanted to run too, Kevin, because I've sat through debates with Christine James, and her famous question is, should county government stay or should it go? So I think I would like to work at that and make sure that's a question that's never asked again. So county commissioners, and I just kind of explain it to a simple version, is similar to being on the select board. You oversee the county commissioners are the executive board of the county, and they oversee and handle all the operations of the day-to-day activities. They oversee the personnel board, and they work alongside of the registrar of deeds and the treasurer.
Let me ask you this. Is there enough transparency in what the commissioners do? If not, how can that improve?
So I think the short answer is I don't think there is enough transparency, obviously. If folks are asking what they do, they don't know. So, particularly after the COVID funding that the commissioners have been all across the county delivering checks to all the municipalities. And folks don't even realize that's part of the commissioners. They were willing to do that, take it on, get the checks out faster. They still don't realize what a county commissioner is. So I think that's unfortunate. But and I've been campaigning on this, Kevin. I think we could first start with televising meetings. They should be broadcast and put up on their website. We do it in Hanover. Most municipalities record and Zoom all their meetings, similar to what we're doing here this evening. And I think that would at least probably gain some interest in what Plymouth County the Plymouth County Commissioners are doing. So that I'm going to hold their feet to the fire. I've had this conversation last night with a debate with the chairman, Valenzola, and they said that they don't have the resources to do it, and or the money to do it. And it's very simple, and it's not very expensive to do. It's really just having it, you can do it via Zoom and things like that. So I think also it gives people the opportunity that might have some disabilities as well to be able to access and be involved and see what's going on if it's posted on their website. There's a lot that residents should know what government's doing. It's a local level of government. They need to know what's going on, and things should be should not be done in a vacuum.
CARES Act was something that was provided through the Trump administration to assist those who were dealing with issues regarding COVID when we were dealing with a pandemic. Continued under Joe Biden and his administration. And many would say that the county did an admirable job in providing that funding to its membership, the 26 towns and the one city of Brockton. And some see it as a success. How can the county commissioners build upon that success, knowing that you're going to start seeing the ARPA, American Rescue Plan Act, sunsetting soon? Again, they're going to be distributing that until the end of the year, and then there'll be checks and balances up through 26 and 27. Give me your thoughts as what the county can do to build on the success.
Yeah, that's a great question, Kevin. And, we see it here in Hanover as a member of the select board. Those funds that were used a lot of times for budgeting are no longer there. So, a lot of the towns, a lot of municipalities are facing overrides. And certainly, for however they manage their funds with that CARES Act and ARPA funding, it certainly isn't going to be there. So hopefully we're not going to have to go through that ever again, that we're never going to have to use that funding at all. But I think there is something to be said about the federal government stepping up. And I think, the commissioners, and I use my experience as a state representative, there is funding there, and I think if we could maybe possibly look at get a regionalized grant writer, look at funding grants to see what's available for certain things. Let's regionalize. Municipalities are struggling, so I think, we could find funds to help and work together as a commission, municipalities, select board members, bring our local officials in, get them at the table. Let's sit down and see how we can work together to get things done and find other resources to help municipalities.
Is there an issue or a series of issues that are important to this particular race?
Well, I think for me, again, and I said the transparency and accountability issue, honestly, Kevin, folks need to know what's going on. And, I think the easiest and most simple way is to have meetings recorded and put on their website so that we can engage. The same as the county land. I mentioned this the other day. I was asked, what land is available in Plymouth County? If you wanted to come in and develop or, lease or look at land that's within the county, if I was someone, a developer, there's nothing on your website that's listed that tells you this is what the county owns for land. This is available land for purchase or lease or whatever. I know over at the sheriff's office is a piece of property there with a half-built building. It's just sitting there. The county owns that land. We got to look at ways of trying to do better things with that.
Okay. One of the other issues I believe that the county has dealt with, and that is its budget. It's how it's funded, how it's able to provide. I know through real estate transactions, that's where some of the fees come from. But what can be done to improve the county's financial situation so that you're not worried about whether or not you're going to be able to have a balanced annual budget, and if you're going to have to lay people off or have to sell land in order to balance that budget?
Well, I think first and foremost, we know the registry of deeds. Every 10 cents of the dollar goes to the county and 90 cents goes to the Commonwealth. That formula, needs to be visited again. We need to change that. Certainly we can't survive without, the way that it's written today. And as a state representative, I was one that co-sponsored that and supported that back then. And I think that's why I used my experience as a former state representative and work with the leadership at the state level. Again, bring people together. I think I have a unique ability working with Democrats and Republicans alike to be able to get things done. And that would be the first thing. And I think that's probably the major piece. There's courthouse rents, some of the money that is collected to help support that. The commission, there's a parking department, things like that, certainly. But really, I think that would be something that if I'm elected, would work very closely with and be able to work very closely with the legislature to hopefully find some improvements in that area.
I think running as a candidate, and I think even as an incumbent, there's always new ideas that come to a forefront when folks are running for office. What new ideas might you have or that you could bring to the county that would make things better for the next 4 years for the county and the county commissioners?
Okay, well, again, a grant writer first and foremost as well. They specialize in finding funding for certain projects. We talk a lot about, what we would have visions for, like an Aggie school, things like that. Yeah, that's a great idea. But I think we need to I would first like to look at what has been tried and tested and see why it's failed. Work with your commissioners, your your administrator there, and find out what will work or not. I think regionalization is huge. I think we need to expand on that. I think that would be helpful. It's going to help everybody, not only municipalities. It's going to help work for the commission. So I think that those two things really are the most important.
How important is the 4-H program? Not that somebody would say something negative about it, but how important is it? How essential is it to the county and the membership in the county?
Well, as someone that attended 4-H when I was younger, back in the day, I think it's very important. I think there's a certain, it brings a certain caliber of teaching and things like that to students. It also brings light to a lot of, at the farm. I think it's very important. I think it was really great to have that subdivision there with the 4-H.
We're at that point of our conversation where I ask you, is there something that we have not discussed, a topic we haven't talked about, a question I haven't asked you that you would like to talk to, or maybe there's something that we had discussed earlier on in our conversation that maybe you might have a follow-up or something that you want to add or provide in addition to?
Kevin, I'd just like to maybe mention about the election a little bit. I'm not sure if folks know, honestly, there's 4 commissioners running, and you can vote for 2. And I think a lot of people are under the assumption they have to vote for 2 people within one party. And that's not true. You don't have to. You can vote for you can vote for anyone you want. So I'm 3rd on the ballot. So I hope that people will, certainly take liking to my, reason why I'm running, and certainly look forward to the November 5th. The primary, certainly, my results were very good. I topped the ticket during the primary election results. Once they finally got in, we waited a long time for those, but I feel very confident about that. I have close to 300 to 400 signs out there. I've been working very hard, so I think, the support is there. I have a lot of endorsements and a lot of good people that are behind me. And I'm happy to have the support of former Senate President Therese Murray and Plymouth Selectman Charlie Bletzer, amongst a lot of other select board members across the county. So very proud of that. I'm very happy to have their support.
Final question that I have for you, and that is, if folks want to find out more about your campaign, whether you have a website or social media, what's the best way to find out about Rhonda Nyman?
Yeah, so you can just Google Rhonda Nyman. My Facebook will come up, Rhonda Nyman for Plymouth County Commissioner. And I also have a website. It's nymanforplymouth.com.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank you for joining us and having this conversation. And I also want to wish you, like we wish all candidates, the best of luck, not only during early voting, but also right up to November 5th.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for having me on this evening.
You got it. And we want to thank you for tuning into a program like this. Again, the idea of this conversation and the series of conversations that we are providing you is so that you're better informed when you go in and you mark up your ballot for those folks that you want to see gain office and be elected. Well, until our next conversation, have yourself a great day.